And now working on another very important result and an idea which should be used very commonly in your problem solving, and that is that the angle subtended by the arc PQ at the center. And when I say arc PQ, what do I mean? So draw any chord, and this part or this stretch of the circle is the arc. So if you draw a circle, this is the minor arc or the small arc, and this is the big arc. So if you name this P and Q, you will say minor arc PQ, and to make it even more clear, maybe put another letter there and say minor arc PSQ. Similarly, put another letter here, and if I say arc PTQ, I am talking about the major arc. But whatever property we are working on, it will work with the language and logic of chords also, because very much the same idea is involved here. And the idea is this: think of chord PQ, it subtends an angle at the center which is POQ. Let me throw another point A and create another angle. So chord PQ is subtending an angle at point A, and it is subtending an angle at the center which is POQ. So I am thinking of angle PAQ, and I am thinking of angle POQ. And what I want to observe, or what I will derive or deduce, is that angle PAQ is going to be half of angle POQ. And the language interpretation of this would be, or the language in the theorem would be, that the angle subtended at the center, angle POQ, is going to be twice or double the angle subtended at any other point. So we are going to try and prove this, that this angle is half of this angle, or this angle is twice this angle. So how will we go about doing that? Once again, I know the key is going to lie in the radius, because this point A is on the circle. That means the distance between O and A is going to be R. I also know that OQ is R as well, and OP is R as well. Forget this chord for a minute, because we were using the chord just to introduce the idea. Even the language of this theorem says that the angle subtended by the arc. So forget this chord. Let me put this over here. The next thing that I can notice is that if I think of triangle AOQ, I know two sides are equal to each other. That means angle OAQ, this angle is going to be equal to this angle. Why? Because when in a triangle two sides are equal to each other, the opposite angles to the side are also equal to each other. So another very basic idea. Now for a second, extend this line AO slightly, and let's call it B. So now if I look at angle BOQ, it is the exterior angle for this triangle. If this side is extended, I am creating this angle, and this is an exterior angle for the triangle AOQ. Side AO is extended. The exterior angle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. That means this angle is going to be this plus this. If this was X and this was X, this is going to be 2X. The same logic, the same idea will work on this story. This is the radius, this is the radius. Two sides of a triangle are equal to each other. This angle will be equal to this angle. I do not know the connection between these two angles right now, so let me call this Y, and this also will be Y. Now if I think of the angle POB, this angle is the exterior angle for this triangle. This side AO is extended. The exterior angle is the sum of the opposite angles of the triangle. So this is going to be Y plus Y, or 2Y. That means if I look at this angle, angle POQ, it is 2Y plus 2X. So instead of this, I can write 2Y plus 2X. And if I look at angle PAQ, it is simply Y and X. This is equal to Y plus X. So angle POQ is 2Y plus 2X, and angle PAQ is Y plus X. I can very clearly see that this angle is twice of this angle, because if this is Y plus X and I multiply it by 2, I will get 2Y plus 2X, which is nothing but angle POQ. And that's it, you have your result. Another very interesting result that you can derive very quickly is that if I think of this arc PQ, and I think of any angle that it creates not at the center, and I call it A, B and C. So angle PAQ, angle PBQ, angle PCQ are all going to be equal to each other. So if this is 1 and this is 2 and this is 3, angle 1 is equal to angle 2 is equal to angle 3. How will I prove that? And I can do that very quickly by creating an angle at the center, angle POQ. Now I know, and now I already know that angle POQ is twice the angle A, or angle A is half this angle. So if this angle is x, this is going to be 1 by 2 of x. Same logic, forget these two angles now. This is an angle subtended at some other point in the circle. This is the angle subtended at the center. That means this angle is going to be half of this angle. So this is also going to be 1 by 2x. And similarly, this is also going to be 1 by 2x. And therefore proving that whatever number of angles you create from the same arc, they're all going to be equal to each other. Why? Because you can connect them to the angle drawn at the center. You have a relationship with that. That relationship is fixed no matter what the story was. Because remember, when we were proving it, we did not have specific values of any angle. We drew a general form angle and it was working there. That means it would have worked, the same theory, same logic would have worked for this angle also, this angle also, this angle also, and therefore they are equal to each other. So now we know the theorem. Let's practice this in a couple of simple easy questions just to repeat the key ideas a couple of times. So these are the two stories given to us. Maybe hit pause first and try them out for yourself before joining the discussion. And this is the story. This is the center O, and AOB is given as 60 degrees, BOC is given as 30 degrees, and your question is what is going to be angle ADC. And this is the other problem. This is the figure given. Angle BEC is given as 130 degrees and angle ECD is given as 20 degrees. And it is not mentioned that BC is passing through the center or it is the diameter or anything. It is just another chord. And your question is what is the value of angle BAC?